Hey you guys, welcome to week 2. I just thought it would be smart to check in, make sure everybody's doing all right, give you, it's not a welcome video. I don't need to talk at you for 15 minutes here, but a little overview about what to expect from this second week. Second week here, we're doing chapter 3. Read chapter 3 in the textbook. If you do that and you watch the videos and you follow on the review sheet, you'll have a really solid setup for how to be prepared for an exam. You'll really learn a lot. So chapter 3 is talking about risk management. And this is something I'll say in the lectures, but I always say this. Risk management is a simple idea. You've got risk exposures. What are you going to do about them? It's that simple. Yeah, you've got 4 techniques. We'll go through those. And you decide which technique you're going to use based on the frequency, how often these losses happen, and the severity. How bad are they when they do happen? The combinations there, we're just going to use high and low. So you got 4 combinations. That matches up really well with 4 techniques. And that's what this week's lectures are going to be talking about. Just wanted to show you here. So yeah, we've got 4 lectures, and then I've got a quiz that covers both chapters 1 and 3 that I want you to take. I'm just trying to every week give you something to do to engage with the material. The quiz is hard. It's not easy. I guess that's what I meant when I said it was hard. I just want to warn you that ahead of time. And I'm not trying to trick anybody. I'm trying to set you up for, hey, if you can do well on this quiz and you've got your notes, you've got your book, you have access to those resources. If you've already done the material, the quiz is not going to be difficult, but the questions will make you think. If you can handle this and do well, then I'd say, yeah, you're probably pretty well prepared for this material that's going to show up on the exam. There's 10 questions, they're a half point apiece. And when people are scoring 1s and 2s, that's when I say, okay, that's a signal to you. It didn't cost you very much in the total points for the class. That's not going to hurt you. But it is a signal to say that, all right, the expectations from the exam are probably greater than what you're prepared for. So you're at least signaled that, hey, we got to be thinking about making a change. So, some of this stuff, the techniques, deciding when you're going to use which technique, some of this depends on how the problem is presented. So I'll give you a free one. Here you go. One of the questions on that quiz says, your professor is worried about driving on McKinley and hitting a student. So if I'm worried about hitting a student, I phrase it that way. I'm worried about hitting a student with my car. So my risk management technique, I'm not going to drive on McKinley. Which technique did I use? When I ask this question in class, almost everybody says avoidance. Avoidance. Okay, so does that mean as long as I don't drive on McKinley, I'll never hit a student with my car? That's not right, is it? Yeah, so the answer isn't avoidance. I've reduced the possibility of hitting a student if I avoid McKinley, but I haven't driven it to 0, so it's not avoidance, it's loss control. And yeah, I agree, that's difficult. If I haven't explained this right here and you haven't gone through this thought process, to get it on your own is tough. That's the kind of question that you can expect. That's the kind of thinking I want you to be doing. And yeah, it depends on how you phrase the question. If I say, I'm worried about hitting a student while on McKinley, then we've avoided that risk by avoiding McKinley. But if I just phrase it as I'm worried about hitting a student with my car, the way to avoid that risk is to not drive. Anything else you do is probably loss control. Anyway, didn't want to get too far in. Don't want this video to get too long. That's what this week is talking about, is risk management techniques and when you use them. That's the topic of chapter 3. Follow along in the textbook. Be looking at that review sheet, have that printed out while you're watching the videos, and take your notes. That's how you minimize the prep time for the exam. In the meantime, you have any questions, let me know. That's what I'm here for. Thanks a lot, you guys. We'll go from there.